2, 1.
Here we go!
Yo, people, lateness is greatness. Welcome back to the Battle of the North. And, you know, this is a great time for me because I've already spoken about my fixture. I've done 2 streams on it. This is the Battle of the North. It's all about the Northern team. So I can just put to rest what happened over the weekend for Chelsea. And I'll address that. Well, I'm going to have to address it on the Big Six again anyway. So that'll be the 3rd time. But we're here to focus on the Northern clubs. We've got Big Steve in the building. Bro, how you doing? You just got your win over the weekend.
Yeah, man. Good. Doing all right. Top of the shop.
Love that. And Akeem, my brother, how are you doing, bro?
I'm good. Obviously, great win. Big win on the weekend.
Huh?
I'm just saying a big win on the weekend.
Yeah. And then Jay as well. You got your fam. You all won. What the hell,
bro? That's 4 weeks unbeaten now, bro. Put an international break in there as well, bro. We're on a roll, bro. That's 2 out of 2. We're looking good.
I've just clocked. I'm sitting with a bunch of winners this weekend. What the hell's happened?
Well, yeah. What the hell happened to you? But anyway, we'll come on to that another day.
Listen, we're not talking about me because I did my stream immediate reaction to the 5-2. Then I did another stream as well at midnight. I'm tired of talking about that game. That game was disgusting. But maybe I'll reference it at the end when we get to the Champions League matches because obviously a few of us are playing the Champions League. Not you, Akeem, no, are you?
We'll see who's playing Champions League next year. Don't worry.
You may have all won, but there's only 3 Champions League clubs in this stream today. So, but yeah, let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into it. First of all, I want to talk about that Man City game because. And specifically that De Bruyne pass, Steve, because that was perfect. No, Akeem, you have to pay it homage, bro. Steve, talk to us about
Are we really going to talk about a pass?
Listen,
go on.
Listen, we all know that if the man beginning with P played that pass at Old Trafford, there'd be a documentary, there'd be a movie about it, there'd be merchandise, the lot. You know, we've seen all that. Listen, to me, it's a Kevin De Bruyne pass that he does quite regular. Don't get me wrong, it was perfect. I'm not going to get gassed about a pass. I've seen him do it so many times and it hasn't come off. But no, I think it was a great performance because after international breaks, sometimes teams struggle to get the rhythm back. They don't quite get back on that road and carry on where they left off. As we've seen with a few teams this weekend who have come out with some crazy results. But no, fair play. He changed the team a bit. So City fans before the game were getting a bit sketchy, saying, oh, he's tinkering too much and all that. But we played the Leicester team who were in form, obviously. Knocking certain teams out of FA Cups. In the actual got player of the month. So, yeah, they were a good side. But the way we dominated it, that possession stat, one of the possession stats, possession last 5 minutes, 0 to 100% is a joke for me. I've never seen that before. 0 to 100. We had 100% possession in 5 minutes. They never touched the ball once, man.
That's
so to do that, the King Power against the team that, you know, second, third, is good. But yeah, we got the job done. And we just look unstoppable at the minute. But the big ones tomorrow, innit? The big ones tomorrow. It's you know, seems to be everyone else's problem with Man City seems to be the fact that we haven't won the Champions League. So, you know, there's no excuses from me this year. The way we're playing in every competition, we're taking everything serious. He's rotating the squad really well, and yeah, you know, we're in a fantastic position as a Man City fan at the minute. There's nothing more to say other than everything's going perfect.
The reason why I bring it up is obviously you're 14 points clear. Leicester was a very difficult game. Make no mistake. That's one of the most difficult games you can get this season. You guys obviously got the job done. The reason why I bring up De Bruyne is because that pass seemed to trigger a lot of Man City fans on social media to start comparing him with Steven Gerrard, Paul Scholes, Frank Lampard. Where do you think he ranks among those? Can he break into that top 3, or do you think maybe is there anything he needs to do in his Man City career to get into that top 3?
Well, listen, when we bought him, he was classed as a reject and we was overspending. And then he came in with a lot of pressure on him, a big price tag. And he's proved everyone wrong. He's consistently every season chipping in with assists, goals. There's people saying he's the best midfielder in the league. So if you're ranking him up there with them kind of players, by the time he's finished his Man City career or his career, you'll be talking about him in the same as them, because you look at the great players like Scholes and Gerrard and all them, they all have their own things. But Kevin De Bruyne can do a lot what they can do. He can pass, he can shoot, he's got the work rate, he can win your games out of nothing. You know, and that's a sign of a great player. You look at Kevin De Bruyne as a physique-wise, and he doesn't strike you as a footballer. You ever see the guy with the top off? He looks like the guy who's just flown in from Leeds in Benidorm, who's bright white with mad ginger hair. That's what he looks like.
Like Scholes. Yeah,
like Scholes. You know what I mean? You think of Scholes, you think he doesn't really look at that mould for football players now. The physiques are chiseled and that, but the guy's just an out-and-out baller. You know what I mean? He's just came back to the Premier League. He believes in his own abilities. He's a bit of a leader as well. When you see him, he can get a bit nasty on the pitch when he's not going his way. You know what I mean? And that's a sign of a winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's doing all right.
Sorry,
let me talk.
Why? What? Because you're going to compare him to Scholes now, are you? Go on.
No. I was just doing the reference of when he got angry on the pitch a couple of years ago. No, I'm not comparing him to Paul Scholes, because obviously he's not Paul Scholes. Like, come on. I think in respect, he's the best. He's been the best midfielder in terms of consistency and performances over the last probably 5-6 years. If you want to, in that sense, obviously in terms of ability, he's not better than Paul Pogba, but he in terms of his performances, he obviously has shown it as it stands now. In a year's time, I think that could be easily different if Pogba has a great year. But we'll see. Obviously, as far as that goes, I don't think we should be talking that much about a pass. It's just a pass. That's it. You know, it was a good pass.
It was I think it's world class, to be honest, to be able to slip the ball through the eye.
That was beautiful. It was a beautiful
pass. I think to talk about a pass is from De Bruyne. Yeah, it's a good pass. That's it. All right. That's it. You know, and you know, the other stat
if McTominay did that pass, but we hit the end of it, bro.
McTominay would never play that pass. I can't play that pass.
If McTominay did that pass,
I'm not saying no. McTominay couldn't, but Pogba does that all the time. You know, we just don't talk about it. You know, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't end up anywhere, does it? He does it all the time. It don't end up nowhere, does it? You know what I mean? Ends up for a corner or something, throwing, goal kick. You know what I mean?
I keep speechless. I think
it's just because the world loves. It's just because the world loves. He's a media. He's what they call a media darling. That's what he is. Everyone talks about Kevin De Bruyne. That's it. No one. Pogba's the complete opposite. Yeah, he's hated. You know, I know we're not talking about Pogba, but look, as you can see, the proof is in the pudding. Your own people on here is even saying the same thing. That's all I'm saying. So, but Kevin De Bruyne is a great player. Make no mistake about it.
I mean, De Bruyne is more consistent, though, man. That's what
he is. Well, and I agree. I agree with that as well.
He's also in a better team as well. I think when it comes down to
and that as well,
I've got a soft spot for De Bruyne because he obviously was a former Chelsea player. Not that we got to see the best of him, but we sold him thinking that he's not going to make it in England. I remember Paul Merson when he signed for Man City, he was like, "Why are they buying this guy for £50 million from Wolfsburg? Doesn't make any sense." You know, when I saw him at Chelsea, he wasn't really doing much, and now look at him. He's one of the Premier League.
Yeah, but to be honest, you've let go of a lot of good players in the last 10 years that have gone on to it. Yeah,
you know, people mention Mo Salah. I remember when Mo Salah was at Chelsea, he wasn't the same Mo Salah now. You could see that he went to Italy, Fiorentina, Roma, developed, came back. Same with Lukaku. Yeah. Lukaku has definitely grown in stature and size with his loans to Everton, West Brom, and then gone to Man United. Now Inter. De Bruyne was clearly that good for me when he was playing in his cameos. So yes, we had Oscar, we had Hazard, we had Mato, we had other players as well, Willian. But for me, I feel like letting him go was idiotic. But it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Now Steve gets to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Where just before we move on, Steve, where do you rank him in terms of great players for Man City? Because he's been very consistent, in my opinion. The only issue is the little injuries he's always got. But you know, he's been brilliant.
But the thing is with him at the minute, he can play. He can play wide. He can play defensive midfield. He's dropped defensive midfield to spray the ball about. He can play the false nine. The guy's just adapting. He's a modern day footballer for me. He's adapting to systems that he's put in, and he's just. I mean, I speak to a lot of the older City fans, and they love Colin Bell. And when you mention De Bruyne to them, they say he's the closest thing to Colin Bell. Obviously, they watch Colin Bell. He was a kind of midfielder like that. Obviously, David Silva and Yaya have got their own legacy at City because what they did and the trophies they won. But De Bruyne's winning trophies. You know what I mean? So it's hard to judge him now. He's right up there. And I honestly think if we can get that Champions League, obviously he moves ahead, doesn't it? This is the thing is with the Champions League, this is what I say to people, people have been in that Champions League for 40, 50 years, and never won it. So we've only been in it 14 times, that's it, 14 times, So it's no rush from us.
I keep saying it's the
but I think
we're going to get there, don't worry about it.
It's not easy to win. It's not easy to win, but I think it's all relative, isn't it? I mean, there's been teams like, there's teams like Dynamo Kiev that's been in it for 30, 40, 50 years, but they've never had the money to spend like what City has, They've never had the players.
We did a season where we won every single trophy domestically, and we failed on that one. But if you're asking me at the beginning of the season, you won't win the Champions League, but you win the other four, you're gonna have that. I went to Wembley, you know what I mean? How many times that season? So the City fans are like, we've never been ones where we're like forcing the Champions League. It seems to be rival fans who say, you can't. Listen, if we won the Champions League, Pep Guardiola won the Champions League first season he came here, and we never won anything again, they class him as a failure. But the fact is, he's cleaned up domestically. Every season, he tries his best in every competition. They're still saying he's a failure. Then they said they got to win the Premier League back-to-back, so he did that. But then he won the Premier League back-to-back, and then he did something no one's ever done in the history of football, in English football. He won the lot. He still don't get the credit for it. So even if he wins the Champions League this season, I still think there'll be some other mad stats.
I think once.
I think
there can't be any more dispute.
If he gets the Champions League, there will be no dispute. Even someone. Do you know what I mean? Like even people who who think he is a little bit overrated, okay, like myself, who think he's a little bit overrated, from that perspective, like you can't. It's undeniable if he wins the Champions League again with another team, like some of the other greats has done.
Messi,
without Messi, even though I don't even say that without that Messi line, but even the fact is he hasn't won it without Messi. And I think the Bayern Munich period.
If it's so easy to win the Champions League, though, with Messi, why has nobody other manager gone to Barcelona and won it with Messi?
True, but here's the thing. The Bayern Munich tenure was actually very, very underwhelming. That's the reality, because the managers before him and after him has done better than what he has done, and that's the problem. That's the reality.
He broke every single record in Germany. He broke every single record in Germany.
But he failed in the Champions League, and the manager before him and the manager after him won it. They both won it on either end of him. So that's the problem with that role. That Bayern Munich, he either should have stayed and won the Champions League, which he probably would have done, but he didn't. But because he moved on, it now looks like that Bayern Munich tenure, it almost proves that him being there didn't make that team any better or worse when he was there or when he wasn't.
He definitely changed the style, but objectively he didn't reach the heights that the manager.
He didn't. Or the manager after that. Exactly. That's the reality.
I think like from my point of view, like fans I know, the reason they probably are onto Pep because he's got everything he's wanted in terms of transfers, players and stuff like that, where some other managers may not have the tools that he has, and work with what they've got and produce stuff that they shouldn't have, i.e. Klopp, where wherever Pep's gone, he's had money to kind of spend. So I think a lot of people look at him like that and they say, oh, could he do it with a team where he doesn't get the transfer budget that he has that wherever he's gone? So it would be interesting to see if Pep could do it.
You know yourself, yeah. It's not about the dough. It's look at the system, the way he changed the team, the way he freshens it up every season to compete in every trophy. You need to be a good manager to do that. You can't just look at Chelsea players. Look, United have spent nearly £1 billion trying to chase the Premier League and not done it. So at the end of the day, this season we started off shit, yeah? Sky Sports did a poll saying Manchester City's championship race is finished. 98%, it's finished. What did he do? He admitted he was wrong. He changed the system. And look at him now. We're 14 points clear. That is a sign of a good manager. You look at Jurgen Klopp now, yeah? Jurgen Klopp's had a kick in the bollocks this season, yeah? So this season's not gone to plan. So next season, yeah, let's see if this season was just because of the injuries and stuff. He's now got to do that again.
That's very true. That's very true. That's very true. I agree. I agree with that. And
but Pep Guardiola, like he says a lot of the times, yeah, the structure, you can't just go in a football club, right, and say, I want this amount of money out. He didn't do that. He came to City, right? He wanted fullbacks. He had Gael Clichy, Zabaleta, yeah, who were both out of contract. We couldn't buy fullbacks because and you look at the way Manchester City play now from the back. The fullback positions are key. So everything Pep Guardiola does, they're key. You look at Cancelo, Walcott's key. So that first season, he said in the Man City interviews that this season was his bedding in season. Everyone was like, oh, he's a flop. He didn't do it. No, the team needed major overhaul. Yeah, Joe Hart was not good enough. Clichy, Zabaleta, Kolarov, them kind of players needed to be replaced, right? So he did. He went out and got the best right back at the time, Kyle Walker, 50 million. He went out and got the best left back at the time, Benjamin Mendy at Monaco, 50 million. Mendy was injured. But then he could start, he's seen us change the way we played once he got his little pieces of the jigsaw that he wanted. And people say, oh, yeah, you can spend this, you can spend that. But look, we've lost Vincent Kompany, 10 years we had him for. Are we not allowed to replace him? So who are you going to get to replace Vincent Kompany? He was a monster. So we had to replace him. We lost Yaya Toure, David Silva, both absolutely unbelievable players. We had to replace him. And now we're losing Sergio Aguero. So people need to get to use that. You better believe we're going to replace him. So listen,
what do you make? Well, Steve, what do you make of? I know Matisse is normally asking the question, but what do you make of this nonsense comment that he said? Because this is one of the things that annoys me about Pep. But I get it; he does it to fit a narrative. Yeah, you know, just like when he called Claudio Bravo the best keeper in the world, which is just nonsense. He's rubbish, and he always was. But either way, you know, Pep came up with a comment this week saying something about it's impossible to buy a striker. They don't have enough money. They don't have enough money.
What you've got to understand, yeah, Liverpool have just sold a percentage of the club to some other American guys for 500 odd million. Yeah, that's going to help them out massive. Yeah, United, the shirt sponsorship deals are now all getting jiggled about to suit them because they're not rosy in the bank, and we're the same. We're not going to be all rosy. So at the end of the day, what you got to understand is we have a wage structure and we have a way of doing things. You look at Manchester City from the outside as a club, yeah? There's never no agent leaks. There's never no unhappy players. There's never anyone throwing the toys out the pram. There's none of that because that doesn't happen at Manchester City as a club. It doesn't happen, right? Because everybody knows what they're getting paid. They know what the level is, and that's it. We walked away from Sanchez. We walked away from Maguire. We walked away from Fred. All these players because they didn't fit the budget that was there. And Pep says that in the City TV interviews. He says, look, I've been given a budget. Dixie Bergstein goes to negotiate it. He comes back. It's either done or not done, and then they move on. We're not getting else to answer.
So with that being said, then does that not hinder your chances of going for Erling Haaland? Because I've read reports that there's not the best relationship between Raiola and Pep, and that would make sense to me because of everything you've just said about not wanting clubs, not wanting agents to be involved in.
If Erling Haaland's got to make a decision, yeah, he's got to make a decision. Does he go to a club where, according to his dad, the club needs to want him, yeah? So we want him. Does he go to a club that look after the players? Does he go to a club where players stay for 10 plus years? Or does he go to a club which is in turmoil, where people are fighting in the changing room with money, and he's on more than me, I'm on more than him, agents are saying this, saying that, where there's load of pressure? What does he do? Look at Man City. There's a reason why we attract the decent players as well. And I believe the younger players are going to want to put.
Mula.
You made a good point, Steve. Though I think here's the thing, though. I think that's something that's not spoken about enough with Man City. They are a well-run club. That's the reality. They are a well-run club, and the thing is that
they are ruthless. What happens like, with their transfers?
Yeah. What I mean by well-run,
but not many clubs can buy
this is what I mean.
And just replace him the next season.
100%. And this is what I mean. When I mean well-run, I mean well-run in the sense that the players know what they're getting paid. The manager's always happy and comfortable with what they're getting. They know what players they're able to bring in and not bring in. And sometimes when you stick a good manager in there, like a Pep, they are able to do wonders with that. Whereas a bad run club like Newcastle, it doesn't matter if you put a world-class manager in there, it's turmoil. So, and that's what aids Man City that people don't talk about enough. They talk about the players and they talk about the manager a lot, but they don't actually talk about everything else behind that, which is actually what's helping Man City become where they are now. You know what I mean? That's the reality.
But see, you mentioned the goal there.
Yeah.
We got rid of Joe Hart, 4 Golden Gloves, Premier League titles, he was a hero. All of a sudden, his first thing he did to get rid of Joe Hart, the fans were nearly turning on him. He brings in Claudio Bravo, but he explained, he said, look, I'm bringing in Claudio Bravo because we need to start attacks from a certain. You look at Pep, look at Edison. Bravo, it didn't work because Bravo could do on the floor. Bravo was great, but as an actual goalkeeper, it was poor. Yeah. But look at, and then they found Edison, who was like, right, he's perfect on the floor. He can launch them 60, 70 yard passes. He's a bit mental. He's not the greatest goalkeeper in the world, but he suits the way we play, and that's why we had to do it. So he sacrificed Joe Hart, who was a fan's favourite. He wasn't afraid to come to Manchester and upset everyone. And he got Edison in, but what did Edison cost us? 36 million or something. And then Liverpool went and paid 70 odd for Alisson. So we got pure shit, saying we're blowing it all open, and they doubled it. And it's the same.
I'll be honest.
It's true.
I'll be honest. Anyway, go on, Jay. I was just going to say, I think Alisson, regardless of how bad he's been this season, Alisson's a far better goalkeeper than Edison. But Edison does the job.
You see your Manchester City, Edison's the perfect goalkeeper. Edison can pass that ball. Edison on the floor is better than Alisson on the floor, but Alisson's a better all-round goalkeeper than
100%.
So Steve, you see, like you said about like everyone at your club's happy because they know what they're getting paid. What is your actual do you know what your wage budget is compared to like everybody else around you?
No, I think the wage budget is quite high. It's not the biggest in the league, but what I think is, the way they're treated, what I'm being told is the place. What I've been told of people in the club, the place is a really, really unbelievable place to work. From your family to everyone is taken care of, and I believe the players, the focus on the players, they're absolutely mollycoddled to death, and it's like you get everything they need, and I think that's why they don't want to go anywhere else. Because listen, if we were struggling 4th, 5th, 6th in the league, I think you would get a bit of unrest because I think some of the players would want to move on. But because we're consistently winning domestic trophies and things at the minute, and we all know what we're trying to push for, I just think it's a good place to work. And I do like the stance of the board. Yeah, they're the richest club in the world, but they don't let anyone hold them to ransom or walk away. Alexis Sanchez, right? I know for a fact that deal was done, but his agent tried at the last minute to pull a fast one, and he rang them up and said, Manchester United have offered us X, Y, and Z, because he was on the phone all day to United saying, you've got a chance of getting him if you offer this. So they came up with the money. And then Sanchez was expected to go to Manchester City. Then he was told, City pulled it. Sigurdsson walked away from the deal. Ferran Serrano walked away from the deal because he said, we're not getting had over. Sanchez was left in no man's land, He had a tax bill to pay the week after, which if you Google it, he paid it, 2.7 million. And he went to Man United. He didn't even want to go there. And you can tell he didn't want to go there. Look how he performed for him on our
He didn't want to go there.
Yeah. Anyone tries to play Man City in the transfer market, we'll walk away.
I'll be honest. Based on that, Steve, based on that, then I honestly can't see you getting Haaland, because Haaland's going to.
I was just about to say that.
Dortmund is known. Forget about the agent. Dortmund are known for playing so many games to pump their price up of their players, and I think he's going to.
We've got one thing though with Dortmund. We've got a good relationship with Dortmund, because when Jadon Sancho wanted to leave, we accepted it, and we did a deal with Dortmund, and we put a sell-on clause in there. There's a couple of young kids at City who have left Manchester City's academy and gone to Dortmund. And then what they're talking about in the Manchester press is that the 25% sell-on clause on Sancho can be waived. So that will help the deal go through. So instantly we've got, maybe if Sancho's worth 100 million, there's 25 million there straight away. We can knock right off it. The other good thing is his dad. His dad has a good relationship with City. You know, and another thing is the pictures have been coming out. 2014 FA Cup final, Erling Haaland, Manchester City shirt in the City end, jumping about when City scored. Them videos are there. He's obviously got a soft spot for City. He's turned up in Manchester today with a sky blue Louis Vuitton bag on. So
clutching, man. That's clutching.
The stars, man. The stars.
I think all we need is Sir Alex to go talk to his dad and put to bed what Roy Keane done. He already hates Roy Keane anyway, so sod him off and then bring him to
Manchester United. For me, it just absolutely makes no sense from a career standpoint for him.
No.
He is at the moment.
Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't.
They got Marshall, man. They got Marshall.
He is on the form of his life. 49 goals in 49 games.
He has the opportunity. He has the opportunity to play for the big.
You're about to give Ollie a new contract.
To play under the biggest.
If you couldn't even attract Jude Bellingham, you had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer whispering into Nathan Ake's ear. Then he ends up on the other side of Manchester. Yeah. You're trying to tell me that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to convince Haland to come to Man United? How?
Not with Solskjaer.
Most of these kids grow up dreaming to play for Man United. They dream to play for Man United.
But the project stinks.
Oh, they did do. They don't anymore, mate. Let me tell you, they don't anymore.
No more.
The project stinks.
Listen, if you get Haaland in that City Training Academy, give him the spiel with his dad, and get Aguero's shirt, the number 10, put it on, and say, "This is your time now. You're the man to take us to the Champions League to the next level. This is where you need to be. A club going places. There's only one way. Every season since we've been took over, we only go better and better and better and better. And he's going to do it. He ain't going over there. He ain't going over there to listen to all you lot singing Ollie at the wheel and swinging your green and gold scarves about and all that shit. He ain't having that, mate. He'd rather play for a decent team, which is a nice place to work at, innit? And he's settled and he can just.
Why didn't he go to United before? I'm sure he was looking before.
I don't think you guys realise what a legend Ollie is in his own country. Do you know how much of a legend he is?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you guys, the weirdest thing is, well, you say that, but the truth is, there are so few like top or players of Norwegian heritage that has played at a top level, a world class. And ultimately, as odd as it sounds, we probably have more chance getting Haaland while he's actually manager than if he was actually not there. It's almost like the one thing he can actually do. It's literally his calling card. It's the one.
He grew up in England, mate. The kid grew up in England. The kid grew up in Leeds, Manchester, and Nottingham.
He loves Leeds.
The only thing about Norway that he's a national team. So I don't think the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thing is really that bothered at the end of the day.
Listen, the Norwegian football team. I'm not having that.
But didn't he want it? What happened before he went Dortmund? I'm sure he was linked with you guys, with United, and he pied you off to go Dortmund.
No, he didn't pie us off. He wanted to stay in Germany. No, he wanted to stay in Germany at the time, and also the deal that was given to him, obviously was favourable for Dortmund. Dortmund ultimately was the most favourable choice, not only from an Asian perspective, but also because he wanted to stay in the country. He didn't want to go abroad at that time. If he wanted to go abroad, we could have got him at that point, to be honest with you, and we didn't, which was a fail. But look, either way, I don't want to speculate about Haaland. All I want to say,
we'll move on because everybody, you guys can fight over Haaland in the transfer window.
Get Sir Alex Ferguson and Ollie on that flight together, and them two talk to his dad and him. Go out for dinner. Go out for a Toby's Carvery. Get the deal done. That's it.
That's where the deal will fall down if you're taking him Toby Carvery, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't take him Toby Carvery, bro. That's when you're gonna drop the deal up, bro.
Yeah, but we'll move on to Liverpool's game because I mean you guys absolutely sweeped Arsenal, but it's not difficult to do. Let's be real, Arsenal are Arsenal. But my one thing that I took away from that game was why was Jota not starting in the first place? Because Firmino it's not even close at this point. Every time I've seen Jota this season for Liverpool, but obviously he had the injury, which was a massive setback for your season. Yeah. He's been leaps and bounds ahead of Firmino in terms of the impact that he makes. Why is Firmino even still starting?
Mate, I don't know that question myself. Like Firmino's been injured and he comes and walks straight back in. And the thing about like Firmino, it's like he's getting in the way at the moment because they're just so wasteful at the front three without Jota are so wasteful. And when I saw Jota on the bench, the only thing I could think of is that he's just coming back from injury and they don't want to overrun him.
Why are these man blaming me? That's Akeem, fam.
No, I was thinking that, you know.
It was.
What
I
did
was
say?
thinking.
What
I
did I
swear.
say?
Yeah,
I swear,
I just let it run in it. Akeem was like, "Oh, he wants to stay in Germany." I was like, "I swear he was at Salzburg in Austria."
Oh no,
Yeah.
sorry. You know what? Sorry. Sorry, let me rephrase. No, let me.
I got
that's what I thought.
Let me rephrase. He wanted to go.
I got an A star. Don't
He want,
disrespect.
Yeah.
he wanted to go to Germany. It was between Dortmund and Bayern Munich, and he obviously wanted.
Yeah,
He
but
chose
all
Dortmund.
that, you know,
He
I
didn't
just
want to go
kept
to
it-
England. He didn't want to go to England.
I kept it moving still.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Jota, the only thing I can think of is he's played 2 internationals. He's coming back from injury. He trained on Friday on his own, so I don't know what that was about. I was a bit worried about that. So seeing him on the bench, knowing he trained on his own on Friday, I kind of thought he would be on the bench. But as soon as he came on, the thing about Jota that's different to the others at the moment, especially Mane and Firmino. Jota is when he's cold. He's a cold finisher at the moment. He's like when he gets the ball, he's got one thing in his mind is I'm hitting that target, I'm scoring this goal. Where the others, I think they're thinking about it too much. Where Jota's just naturally if it comes, I'm hitting it. Where the others, I think, are thinking about, or maybe I should pass it. That confidence is dropped.
Agreed.
So when Jota came on, I said to him, I was sitting with an Arsenal fan. I said, "You lot are in trouble now because this guy's not going to play around. He gets a chance, he's going in, bro." And you saw it. One chance, the header. If you watch the header from behind the goal, the way he caught, that was like a Shearer, one of them Shearer headers from back in the 90s, bro. And he's a small guy, but his heading ability is quality.
His heading ability is good. He allows you to cross the ball.
I gotta say, it's one of the biggest positives of Liverpool this season is Jota.
Yeah.
Jota's, Jota coming to your club. He's had injuries. If he didn't have the injuries this season, he probably would have been one of the. He probably would have been in the team of the. He would have been in the team of the year. No, you wouldn't have. But all I can say is maybe it's me, but every single time Liverpool play Arsenal, they seem to slap them up. They seem to absolutely. I swear they score like 3 or 4 goals every single time.
You know what? Yeah, even though United are our biggest rivals, for me, it's Arsenal. That's one team me personally, I cannot lose to Arsenal because their fans are the worst, bro. Yeah, before the game, they was putting up videos laughing about Liverpool, and they was all talking about, you know what? I fancy we're gonna slap them 3-0, 4-0. I'm like, what? I was like, all right.
Where did that confidence come from? I always looked at that game as being
Europa League, innit? Europa League victories, I think.
I looked at that game as being a tight game. I thought there'd be loads of goals, and I thought it'd be a tight game because both defenses.
I was always
are quite weak, but
wait, Matisse, please. We got Nat Phillips and Kabak, bro. Yeah, please put some respect on our centre back. Yeah. All right, please. These man.
Here's one, Jay.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Big Six? Did you watch the Big Six show the other night?
I missed that, unfortunately.
Grizz came. You know what Grizz is like, yeah? It's pure Liverpool, yeah. He loves all that shit. He lives in his Liverpool bubble, yeah. He come on and he went. I can honestly say now, if Liverpool get in the top 4, this has been one of the best achievements Jurgen Klopp has ever done for Liverpool Football Club. I just took a step. I went, "Are you fucking joking?"
Rabbit.
I was like, "Don't try and play it down, mate." I said, "Because last year you were the greatest team in the world. You had documentaries on Sky, Alien TV, Disney Channel." I said, and then all of a sudden now you're telling me that top 4 is a class season, and it caused a bit of a debate. Yeah, and Grizz went on a big defensive one and all that. But all I'm saying is, all I wanted Grizz to admit is he's got to come out and admit that this season, injuries or no injuries, the season has not been. He can't be that high and then drop to that and then say it's good. You've got to just say. Fair enough.
It has. I think Klopp will learn a lot anyway because he was too stubborn. He played the midfielders in defense for far too long. That was maybe a 1 or 2 game trial, and then you have to put. You had
a window to rectify that as well with signings.
Yeah. We've spoken about that. Obviously, he's saving Ben Davies till next season, so we'll see the quality of him then. But yeah, I mean, we've spoken about that in previous YouTubes, but now we've got actual defenders playing in there. There's certain movements as a centre back that you just naturally have. Where if you're centre midfielder there, you're just not going to know the certain movements.
Yeah, of course.
And it's benefiting our team. And like I said a few YouTubes ago, Thiago, I'm only going to judge him when he's got the players and the tools around him. And against Arsenal, I thought him and Firmino were outstanding. the way they control the game. Fabinho was like that ship in the Suez Canal, bro, just blocking everything off. 9-8 coming through against Arsenal. Yeah, he was outstanding. And if you look, when Fabinho plays in midfield, he's always feeding the balls to Salah and Mane, especially the second goal. As soon as it comes, just whip it around the corner. Yeah, these little things weren't happening before. So I think as long as them two can stay in midfield, we'll have a good run. And I've said it about a month ago. If Fabinho plays in the midfield to the end of the season, we'll get fourth. I have said it. I'm going to stand by that.
You stand by that. So whose place do you think you're taking? My place? Is it coming? You're coming?
You're just Matisse, you're just keeping this up more.
Are you talking about fourth place?
Yeah, he's taking my team's place.
Honestly, Matisse, Spurs have more chance of finishing fourth than Chelsea.
I love the way. I'm pretty sure a couple shows ago you said no, the top four will finish how it is. Now suddenly after one defeat in 15,
new manager bounce is done now.
I didn't say that.
I'd
be very surprised if
I said Spurs will finish above Chelsea. I definitely said that.
I said Leicester will drop out. I still think Leicester can be caught, to be honest. I still think they got like a run in them where they could lose 2 or 3 in the bounce. So I'm not writing them off yet. But I really I'm confident that we're going to get fourth. I think we're going to go on a great run now. I've seen some of our fixtures. The one that stands out to me is United at Old Trafford at the beginning of May. I'm really looking forward to that one. I really do fancy us if we can keep our players healthy. I fancy us getting something there. And then I think going back to the Arsenal.
I don't think your squad is or your confidence level in your team is good enough to get to, let's say, the final of the Champions League, which is what Liverpool fans hope, as well as getting top 4. I could see it being one or the other.
You don't think you don't? Team?
No. And the way Liverpool play, you just burn yourselves out. Not every game is going to be like Arsenal, which is the easiest game. So for many teams this season, Arsenal's been the easiest game on the calendar. And I'm not even trying to disrespect Arsenal, but when they are down, when their chips are down, and when their confidence is low, Arsenal are terrible. They are literally one of the easiest sides to play against.
3 shots all game. Liverpool played quite a high line because we would know because we went to Anfield. I was surprised that they've got all this pace in behind and they didn't exploit Liverpool in behind too much. They didn't create too many opportunities. They missed their two key players though, innit? The ball carriers, Saka and Smith Rowe. They're the big difference to them. Yeah. And Jota, them 3 are probably their most important. Xhaka's awful. Party's still there. Xhaka's
how did you mention Xhaka? How did you put Xhaka as an important?
You can't put Xhaka next to Smith or Saka again.
I'm not talking about attacking. I'm not talking about attacking. I'm talking. For me, when I watch Xhaka play, I think he tries. He tries. He does his thing.
He tries, but he fails.
I don't know. I think but Xhaka is better. Xhaka's better than El Neni, and he's better than Ceballos in the DM position. You're telling me that El Neni's the definition of a trial. That's what I would call an El Neni. Yeah. And then he's like, "Oh, good try, lad. Try again. You done well, but pat on the back, keep it moving." He's got one of those kind of. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do fancy us for top 4. And like I was just about to say, I think if you just watch the game, he put Jota up through the middle, and he put Firmino behind in like a number.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Do you look at it as a Jota versus Firmino, or do you look at it as Firmino can play in the 10?
I think we just got to we know our centre backs are not let's be real. We know our centre backs are not the greatest. We're just dealing with them to the end of the season, So we've just got to go attack. And when he played all 4 of them, I think we did against Man City at the Etihad in the season. And for the first half an hour, we kind of ran Man City a bit ragged. And then City kind of worked out holes in midfield and they kind of got on top after the first half an hour when we were 1-0 up. But I think against some of the lesser teams, I think we just got to go 4-man and just go ham and just go with the attitude of we're going to outscore you. Because what else have we got to go for? We've tried everything else this season. We've been dreadful. We've been getting slapped at home. So we just got to go for it. I think Liverpool fans would take us going for it and losing rather than what's been happening and just seeing a dross. So I think for me, in the 10, Salah, Mane, Jota, let's just go for it and let's have it.
Yeah, and obviously Trent had a good game as well. He got his assist. This isn't a club any of us represent, but we do have to talk about it for a little bit. I feel. Did anybody see Rio Ferdinand's comments on on Newcastle. I thought it was mad.
Yeah.
In a way, do you know what I mean? I felt like
didn't see it.
I think look, I think the Rio thing, everyone knows he's obviously got ties with Mike Ashley in Sports Direct, and what he said, it's not actually what he said. This is actually like the 5th or 6th time. Well, of course, because his merchandise is sold in his F4 series stuff is sold in Sports Direct. That's his biggest distributor. Either way, that could just be a coincidence, but obviously it probably isn't. Here's the reality, though. This is like the 5th or 6th time he said it. Anyway, it's not like the first time.
Oh, right.
And in a sense, from a capitalist standpoint, it is kind of true. Do you know what I mean? What he's saying, I don't agree. And I see why it triggers Newcastle fans. And Big Steve, what he basically said is, he went along the lines of like, basically, Mike Ashley is spending money. If you're not happy with Mike Ashley, you go and spend the money yourself. Basically, that kind of aspect.
Yeah.
And in a sense, I get where he's coming from, in the sense that I don't get where he's coming from a fan perspective. Go and spend it on your own. I don't agree with that at all. But the reality is, with these chairmen, what people need to understand, and I say it when we're talking about the Glazers, I say it when we're talking about all of our owners, Roman Abramovich, these guys are here to make money.
Yeah.
There's an assumption that they buy the club because they love Man United or they love Liverpool or they love Man City. Well, they don't have to love anything.
Our owner loves our club, so speak for yourself.
No, here's the thing. But here's the thing. No, they do. But here's the thing. If you're talking about any other investment, Steve knows, he's in business himself. If you talk about any other investment, you don't have to love the company you're investing in. Yeah, you could just invest in it because you think it's going to make money. So I get where he's coming from that perspective. You're assuming Mike Ashley needs to do all of this stuff, extra things, and Mike Ashley's probably sitting there thinking, "This is my money. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make you guys happy." But I think that's where the argument comes in, because football's different. It's not like a typical business, and for that reason, Mike Ashley needs to kind of step down and step aside.
I just think with Newcastle, I just think that Mike Ashley just goes about it the wrong way. I just think he rubs them up the wrong way. I don't think he fills them full of the Newcastle. The Geordies are a mad bunch, because the Geordies need to feed off some sort of they need a carrot to dangle. And if Mike Ashley came out, even if it was never going to happen, but he came out and said, "Look, I'm throwing X amount of million at it. We're going to have a go at this. Them Geordies, the stadium before, will be right behind him, yeah? They're just looking for something, for a bit of inspiration. They're always the same, Newcastle. I grew up with a Newcastle fan, right? And he said to me once, I'll never forget it. I was talking about it the other day. He said to me once, if they win the Carabao Cup, he's getting it tattooed on his back. That's what he said to me once, yeah? Now, I know people might laugh at that, yeah? But there was a time when Man City fans, fucking Carabao Cup was the same, mate. And they're the same. If they win one trophy, Newcastle is a club for someone that loves, a millionaire or a billionaire that loves football, who lives and breathes the game and wants to get into a club where he can just be a hero and a martyr. Newcastle is set up for that guy. If money no object guy comes in there, starts signing them flair players, and they're having a bit of a mad time again, like they did with Faustino Asprilla and all that lot, you'll be a god on Newcastle. And I do feel, part of me does feel a little bit sorry for Newcastle fans, because they have got great support, but Mike Ashley goes about it all the wrong way, saying stuff like, I haven't got the money of these, and I haven't got the money of that. Well, they're saying, well, if you haven't got the money, then step aside and pass it on to somebody else. But I know he's asking,
and he makes it very difficult. He makes it difficult for New. There's been multiple times people have tried to buy him out.
That's the thing, is they've constantly been teased. These Newcastle.
He makes it very difficult for them. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem. Is like he still wants to be there, but then he doesn't at the same time, and he's leaving the club in limbo. And I do think, unfortunately, managers get the brunt end of it. It's like, that's a job where that's a frustrating job for anyone. And then when you get a manager in that actually does care about the club, that people don't like Steve Bruce, he's not good enough. Many people would say, but at least he actually cares about Newcastle. He's not a mercenary. He is. Well, no, I don't think he's a Geordie, but I think he's from I think I don't know if he's a Geordie 100%. He might be from Sunderland or.
Well, we know about your geography.
Either way.
We know about your geography lately. You know
Well, listen, I might be wrong. But either way, he at least cares to some extent. But yet, the minute he walked in, Geordies hated him. You know, they hate. They didn't think he was good enough.
Rafa Benitez was there. Rafa Benitez just wanted a little bit of backing, and then they never gave it him. And then they went and give Bruce 40 odd million for that Joe Linton or something. And it's like, yeah, it's mad, man.
How much was he actually 40 million?
Yeah,
it was something crazy like that, man. Yeah,
42 or something like that. He was 42, and I'm sure they spent some big money on some other players as well that they wouldn't give Rafa. They gave Rafa like 20 million for Almiron. That was about it. Yeah.
So, moving on to the European clashes. Who have Man United got in the Europa League? I thought he was going to say Champions League.
Well, they avoided BBC and they ended up with Granada.
Well, it's hilarious, isn't it? But obviously, we're in the hat to actually go ahead and win this, which is another major European trophy, which we're looking forward to. So
Europa Disney.
What did you just say?
I said we're looking forward to. It's a great draw for us. Don't get me wrong; it's a great draw. And I'm obviously excited to go all the way and win another major trophy. Second European trophy in 4 years. In 4 years, second European.
Oh, bro.
Wait, hold on. It's not Europa Disney. Put some respect on the UEFA Cup, Europa League.
Is it a major trophy though? Let's be. I want to.
No,
it is a major trophy.
The trophy you get when you're not. The trophy you get when you're not quite the champions, is it?
But this is a trophy that you go into when you drop out of the superior.
Exactly.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
You have two major trophies.
If you shit in the Champions League, you get put in that.
It's one.
No.
He knows, Bob. He knows.
No. Hold on. If I win the league, if I win the league in Belgium, if I win the league in some of these other countries, or if I finish second, I go into the Europa League. So it's not just getting dumped out.
Did you say Belgium? Then? Did you say Belgium?
Well, not Belgium. That's a bad example because they actually do go. They actually do go. They have one Champions League spot. But if you finish second, they go to the Europa League. Yeah.
Well, would you happy to go in the Europa Disney this year? Would you like yes?
No, I'm not happy. Listen. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Obviously, no one said I'm happy, but I would rather win the Europa League, than play in the Champions League. Play in the Champions League and say, "Oh, we played in the Champions League this season." What? Listen, Arsenal.
But you're in it to win.
Again, I know we're not talking about Arsenal. Arsenal were in the Champions League for 16 years consecutively, and that was the word that they used. Oh, we're in the Champions League. It meant nothing. They didn't win it once. So it's irrelevant, really, if you're in a competition if you're not going to win it. That's what I'm saying.
And this is a knockout competition that even Tottenham got to the final of, right? So if you're in it to win it. Are you not?
Sorry.
So no one
Tottenham got to the final of the Champions League.
No one qualified.
They lost
for the Champions League this season, Akeem. You finish second. You go into the Champions League, and then you go into the group stage. You're like, right, we're not going to win this anyway. So let's go drop into Europa Disney or Emmerdale Cup or whatever, and then we're going to go back down and we're going to compete for the European. What's the point of qualifying for the Champions League then? Just apart from financial, if you're never going to.
No. I'm not saying. Obviously, the aspiration is to play in the Champions League. Of course, that's where all the best players are. That's where the biggest teams are. All my point is there is no point just being in there year on year when you are never going to win it anyway. Like at the point, are you really doing a fist pump for Everton getting a draw in Palace? Like, what a fall from grace! What a fall from grace!
What you've got to understand, is this: you can't turn around in one part of this podcast and say Erling Haaland wants to sign for Man United, they're the biggest team in the world, and everybody dreams about playing for Man United, and then come on here and start to tell us that the Europa League is some sort of holy grail when you don't see Real Madrid, don't see Barcelona, don't see Bayern Munich, don't see Liverpool, anyone gassing that cup up. So if that's the level you've dropped to now, then admit it, and we'll go there and we'll just put you as a Europa League team like Fulham and Middlesbrough, didn't they get to the final, and Rangers. and Celtic. That's the level I'm looking at. Or are you the famous Man United, the glorious Man United who wins trebles and all that? Or are them days gone now? Are you the European Man United?
Steve, you can say that all you want. What are you guys doing?
Is that where you are now? Yeah.
You guys,
I'm just getting the levels right, so we know what we're talking.
I'll say what we are. I'll say what we are. We're a team that goes into competitions and wins them. That's what we are. Just like we won it 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. So look,
how the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen.
It's not about mighty. It's about the fact that it is a major trophy. 100%. I said that before we won it. By the way, it is a major trophy. Yeah,
you might be a big fish in a small pond with like Dundalk and Dundee and people like that, mate. But
no.
United mentality is gone.
Dundalk and Dundee.
You're the pride of Kazakhstan now. You're the pride of Kazakhstan.
No, look, there's some big teams still in it. Arsenal's still in it. You got Granada, which is a good side. You got good sides in the
Granada.
Who Granada was?
Is that a car, bro? Granada, is that a car, bro? That's a car, bro, isn't it? Granada's a car, bro.
Hey, hold on.
Granada, you know.
Hey, hold on. Someone tell me who their manager is.
Hold on.
Who, Granada?
Your manager's the worst manager out of all of us sitting here. What are you talking about?
No, who's Granada's manager? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't know.
Last time I watched Granada, it was Fred. The
weatherman was on,
but he's been locked up.
Go and find out. Look,
Granada
either way,
9th in La Liga.
Okay, look. Here's the reality. Yeah, we can move on from here because we will see at the end. Next time we talk, half you boys probably are going to be out of your Champions League that you keep rattling on about. That's it.
You got to be in it to win it.
I forgot. At least you get a quarter final trophy. I forgot about that. You get the we got in the quarter finals trophy.
You get more money being in the quarter final than you get for winning it.
You know who?
Where does that get you? That gets you Kabak and that gets us Maguire. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's move on.
Do you want to know?
Have him, bro.
Do you want to know who leads the line for Granada? Roberto Soldado.
Soldado, yeah. That's the level. Yeah. That's the level. That's what we're talking about. Man City's going up against Erling Haaland tomorrow, the best striker in the world, and he's going up against Roberto Soldado.
By the way, Dortmund's defense is awful, and they play on the halfway line. So come on, let's not go there.
Let me just get this straight. Steve's going up against Erling Haaland.
Wipe the floor with you.
Dave's going up against Benzema, and you're going up against Soldado.
Who are you going up against? Who are you going up against? I
don't know, but I mean, I don't care. I'm lucky. I'm in the Champions League, and we got a team that's my team beat Juventus, so. They're clearly no mugs. Do you know what I mean?
Don't write them off, bruv. Don't write Porto off.
Yeah, we're not gonna disrespect Porto on here when you're playing Granada, who are 9th in the La Liga. We're definitely not gonna do that.
It's cool. It doesn't matter. Listen, it doesn't matter who wins. Who we play against. I have no. I don't mind who we play. I couldn't care less. All I do know is that at the end of the season, all I do know is at the end of the season, no one's gonna remember. Oh, but we got to the quarterfinal. Irrelevant.
Listen, you can't get past the semi-final. You can't get past the semi-final.
Let's see who's showing armpits. Let's see who's showing armpits at the end of the season. That's all I want to see. That's all I want to see. Armpits. That's it.
Hold on a minute. I've got the UEFA Cup here. Hold on.
Fuck yeah.
Steve, you can't make jokes about it because you guys
get an open top bus. You get an open top bus around Manchester with that, mate, and they tell you it's game over for you.
You guys haven't won anything when you've got on a plane. If you get on a plane, you don't win. So let's leave it there. That's it.
You know that big trophy's coming back this year, don't you? Big Premier League.
I know. Behave, Steve. It's not, mate. It's not coming back. It's not, mate. It's not. It's coming back to England, yeah, but it's not coming. It's coming.
Granada has a negative goal difference this season of -15. Anyway, we digress.
Why are you guys so obsessed with Granada?
It's just the chat.
As West Brom got a negative goal difference. I can't remember.
Not as much, but it's
not anymore. Not after.
I reckon, yeah. Serious note. I reckon if Barcelona or Real Madrid or someone won that Europa League, I think they just leave it on the pitch and walk off.
I really can't count the Europa League as a major trophy.
They'll give it back. I reckon
it's the same. To be honest, it's the same as the Audi Cup, innit? It's the same as the Audi Cup. Well, the LA Cup was a better, got a bit of prestige about it.
Steve, you literally dream when you go put your head on your pillow. You dream of winning a European trophy of any type.
We won the cup winner. We won the European Cup Winners' Cup back in the day. We've got one in the bank. Don't worry about it.
Cup Winners' Cup. That's like a plastic bag of trophies. That is the what.
You can't have that because when we won the European trophy, Steve. You said you was playing some dead teams, some farmer teams.
Yeah, we played decent. You did play some dead teams, mate. Don't get the records out, mate. Don't get the records out. I told Chris, you've only won 2 championships.
I don't know why, Haland, you want me to talk about West Brom, because I've done 2 streams. If you go on this channel, you will see 2.5 hours of content on West Brom. There's nothing more to say. It's done. It's a wrap.
West Brom's slightly called it. They're technically called a northern side, just about. I think they're just above the Midlands.
No, they're
North, innit?
That's it. Just about.
They're a Midlands team. Don't even try it. I mean, Steve, Jay, how confident are you going into your Champions League ties, bros? Because you've got Dortmund, who Erling Haaland and Sancho. You're coming up against your ex player, Steve, and Sancho. There might be revenge on the cards, obviously, because he ends up. I mean, I don't really think your relationship with Sancho is really. There's no real hurt or love lost there. It was just kind of like he just left, isn't he? He just wanted to play.
He wanted to play. He wanted to play, and Pep was like, "No, you're not ready." And then he got left out of the USA tour, and then he just threw the ties out the pram. So it was better for both parties to move him on.
You don't regret
it? Look at the wingers we've got now, you know what I mean? They're playing well, so do I regret it? No. The season he had with Dortmund last year, he was playing well, and listen, we got a 25% sell-on clause on him, so we're going to make dough, aren't we?
I think City are going to regret more letting Sane go, actually, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, Sane,
I rate Sane a lot.
Sane didn't leave under a cloud. Sane had a young child.
Long injury. He had a long injury.
His missus didn't live in England, so he's a young lad. He wanted to move back to Germany, and who better to move back to than Bayern Munich? So Leroy Sané goes with our blessing. You know what I mean? He won everything in England, so let him go. Leroy, brilliant player.
Very good.
Dortmund. Look, we said this last year. Leon. Oh yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Look what happened. So all I'm praying for is Pep not to go on a mad one and start overthinking everything, and just go and do what we've been doing all season to everyone that's came. Let Dortmund worry about us. Don't overthink Dortmund.
Not against United. You didn't.
So,
anyway,
how are you going to react if
we played right into your hands against United? That penalty.
How are you going to react if Pep pulls out some fancy tactics with a 3 at the back against Dortmund?
I don't care if we win, but I just want him to I'm intrigued. I want to see Haland up against Diaz. I'm loving that. I want to see that. And listen, what you got to remember is, respective of what's going on in leagues, when you get to the Champions League or a cup competition, the pressure is off them teams because it's a free run. Let's just do it. It's a knockout competition. Let's just get it won. And you've seen that. You've seen teams struggling in the league, and they've gone on to the Champions League final or won the Champions League. So Dortmund going to come here and think, you know what? Everyone's going to expect us to lose. Let's have a free shot at Man City. And the teams have done that to us before and beat us. So they're going to be confident.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I think City will beat them. Just because of how high a line they play, like I just
the German teams. The German teams, they don't seem to adapt their tactics when they come up against opposition from other countries when it comes to their high line. So even Leipzig, when they
besides Bayern Munich, the only team that adapts
Leipzig played a massive high line against Liverpool, and they just got cut apart. And that was when Liverpool were at their worst. Even Bayern Munich this year have conceded quite a lot of goals. Bayern Munich's defense was quite meaty this year. They've conceded quite a few goals as well. So I don't know, man. I just think some of these German teams, when they come out of the Bundesliga, they don't seem to. Like, I don't think I've seen a German team yet in Europe defend deep for a second, even if it suits them. So if they go over high line against Man City, it's gonna be long.
I can see it being like the Monaco Man City. To be honest, I think it's going to be a very high scoring tie. I can't see it. I can see both teams. over the leg scoring at least 3 goals each over the 2 legs. Personally, I think it's going to be a high scoring.
I don't think we've conceded a goal in the Champions League this season, have we yet?
Yeah, I like Steve. You know yourself when it comes to this part of the competition, all that stuff kind of goes out the window. It's knockout competition, and yeah, their firepower is awesome. Your firepower is awesome, and I just think it's going to be a great game to watch. To be honest, but I think
there was a year a couple of years ago where I think it was Juve or something got knocked out without actually conceding a goal as well, because where they obviously lost on penalties. In the knockout stage. So yeah, it is interesting. But
Buffon,
I think so. I can't remember. I think it was Juve. But do you guys think that's the tie of the round, or do you think it is Real Madrid, Liverpool?
Yeah, I was just going to get on to it before we wrap up. I think Real Madrid, Liverpool for me is the tie of the round because obviously someone just reminded me that Sancho's injured. He was obviously missing for England as well. I think Liverpool, Real Madrid. I can just feel goals in that game. I know everyone will look at Bayern and PSG, but that's kind of like the obvious one. Yeah. But for me, I think the bigger games tend to be tighter because those two have so much respect for each other. Because PSG got to the final last year as well. I think that actually might be a very close game. Yeah, this one, I think you men are just shooters. I mean, are you confident going into it after the win against Arsenal? Or does that not really have any?
Very, yeah. I'm very I haven't been in this headspace for a very, very long time. Probably before Christmas, but probably Crystal Palace is the last time I kind of seen like a bit of confidence and a bit of direction with our play. Now we've got our midfield.
What side of the draw?
We're on the other side. We're not on Man City. Finally got a decent draw, to be honest. So we'll see what they're made of. We got.
What side of the draw is Man City?
They're on the other side.
Man City or Dortmund will play the winners of PSG or Bayern Munich.
Oh wow! Chelsea have got a dream. Chelsea have got a dream run, haven't they?
It's good.
Akeem, didn't you see the draw that day? Did you see the draw that when that got drawn out? Was it what happened?
I was looking at the Europa League.
Oh, sorry. It was a bit later, isn't it?
I'm looking out for that.
He was on the Disney Channel. He was on the Disney Channel watching Mickey Mouse first, and the other draw after.
He's watching. I think that got drawn on Disney Plus. That draw was on Disney Plus.
It's all right. I think I was probably watching United win the Champions League in the league in the same year. Which we're the only.
You watched it on VHS. You watched that on VHS.
Beta Max, bro.
Beta Max.
Back when they didn't have any coloring.
And you know what? Just before you wrap up, Matisse, I thought you were gonna just comment on the fact that we kept the title race alive with that late win against Greece or against Brighton.
If I'm honest, I
title race is still alive.
Your win against Brighton any attention because it wasn't a great first half. It was boring to watch. Yes, you managed to once again scrap out the win, but you're 14 points behind Akeem.
The key game before I throw in the towel would be
Brighton were
Man
playing
City
very
leads.
well.
Man City. Yeah, Man City leads next week. I think that's where Man City could drop points off the back of the Champions League. Leeds are a free-flowing team that will go attack. And if you drop points, Steve, the pressure is on. And you know it. That's it.
So Saturday, Man City points behind.
Man City with a game in hand. With a game in hand.
I've never.
Focus on Europa Disney, man.
Like I said,
hold on.
Man City leads. If you win that game, fair enough. If you don't win it, the pressure is on. That's what I'm saying.
So even after being 14 points behind, you're still not conceding the title.
If they lose that game, we literally could have cut the gap down from 14 to 8 points. Yes, yeah. The
I don't mind that. I don't mind that because it makes us. We're still champions for a bit longer, innit? I'll take it, mate. I'll take it. We're still champions. You know what I mean?
Done.
Let me have it. It's done.
Steve will be sweating on Saturday. We'll see. Steve will be sweating on Saturday against Bielsa. Let's see what happens.
Steve's cool,
Bielsa is absolutely shocking when it comes. Bielsa is probably going to be the easiest fixture for Man City because he doesn't know how to defend. He doesn't set up his teams to nullify the opposition. Leeds are just going to be playing cage football, and Man City is going to pick them apart. It's the worst fixture that you could possibly. If there's one game I would actually expect Man City to win, it will be against Leeds.
Let's see.
But Leeds concede so many shots.
You know someone's gonna clip this up if that goes.
You can clip it. Even when Chelsea played Leeds, we drew 0-0 to them. I was so furious because Leeds concede so many chances to the opposition.
Well, hold on, didn't you boys? Hold on, didn't Leeds almost beat City earlier in the year? Early in the season. I swear you did.
1-1.
Yeah, you almost beat. They almost beat them. They should have won the game.
This reminds me of when Akeem said Man United were going to beat Man City 2-0, and then I was like, no. And then...
I would love it if the pressure. Listen, if we cut the gap down to 8, the pressure is on. That's it. All of a sudden, they're all going to be panicking.
Yeah. We're not like you, mate. We're not like you. We don't throw things away and get beat last game of the season, last kicks and all that. We just get it done, mate.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry. I'm sorry because we don't pay off Joey Barton and the rest of the QPR boys. Forgot about that.
No, the sours.
I forgot about that.
That was on the other day.
Absolute nonsense. That's the most fraudulent game in the history of football.
Did you ever remember that time they played 12 minutes extra time at Old Trafford against Sheffield Wednesday? And Steve Bruce scored, and then they ran on the pitch. That is the most scandalous game, mate. Don't talk to me about scandalous games. Your history, Man United's history is riddled in scandalous bullshit.
But
tell you that.
Do you remember all the extra time they got at the end of the game with Silas Ferguson and Mark Hughes on the sideline at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as Fergie time. That's just a non. Listen. Listen. There is no such thing as Fergie time for any kid watching. Maybe if you're 12, maybe if you're 10 years old or 12, however old. If you're not old enough to see this era, just to say as a final comment, Fergie time is nonsense. It's all made up. It literally just because we had time added on, and for some reason, because Fergie was our manager, they called it Fergie time. That's it. Don't listen to all that. We had extra minutes.
It's got nothing to do with him applying pressure to the referees and then being a bit intimidated by him. Or anything.
No, because every other manager tried to apply pressure.
Yeah, but
why didn't those work?
Alex Ferguson can get away with anything, mate. Anything. Alex Ferguson got pulled over, out just on the bypass near Old Trafford for speeding. This is true. Google it, And the copper said, "You're fucking speeding," and he said, "Words, I need a shit. So I'm on my way to Old Trafford. I need a shit." So he went and had a shit, right? And he got away with the speeding. Google that, because that's what happened. Alex Ferguson got away from speeding because he said he needed a shit, and the first place that came to mind when he wanted a shit was Old Trafford.
People, we're gonna wrap it up. It's been a funny show as always. Been missing for a week there over international break, but we're back now. Listen, like I said, Mondays at 7 p.m. Brilliant show. I'm sitting next to a bunch of guys who collected W's, so it hasn't been easy. But like I said, the Champions League dig kind of helps me up against Akeem until they qualify for next season. Make sure you guys go follow the links in the description. You know, Big Steve's IG is in there as well. Jay's IG is in there, and Akeem's IG is in there as well, and as much as well the CheekySport YouTube. We'll be back next Monday. And look forward to the Champions League games, and I'll see you guys next week. In a bit, people.
Peace.
3, 2, 1. Here we go.